Well, you'd be forgiven for thinking in recent weeks and months that the Balkan route through Turkey and Greece and up towards Macedonia was the only real refugee hotspot, but clearly it isn't the case at all. Thousands have been making the crossing from Libya over the sea to Sicily and southern Italy and have been picked up in the last 48 hours alone in some 17 different rescue operations. Now, on one level, you might say it's actually quite a good news story. It was at this time last year that 800 drowned in a single incident, and potentially this suggests that the European search and rescue operation at this early stage in the year is actually much better than it was then. But for all that, Italy in particular is very worried about the numbers potentially that this assumes will be coming throughout this year. They've complained bitterly that they haven't been given anything like enough money from the European Union to look after these people. They've watched the EU give Turkey €3 billion to keep people out, and a lot of officials here are very angry about all of that. But there's a further controversy too, and it concerns what happens to all the new arrivals when they get here and this form that they're asked to fill out, because many of the new arrivals and their lawyers are asserting that the Italian authorities are trying to bounce or trick new arrivals into signing away their own asylum claim by admitting that they're actually economic migrants. The huddled masses are once again arriving by the hundred in Sicily. These are almost all Somali and Eritrean, and off they go to be processed. But soon the authorities will want to know what their story is, and that's becoming controversial. Boubacar arrived last September. His case is one of many, allegedly exposing an official trick being played on would-be asylum seekers.
Yeah.
And then where did you go? To Mali?
To Mali, yeah.
And then where after that?
Mali to Burkina.
Boubacar's Gambian. He tried to find work from Senegal to Mali to Libya, but the dangers drove him to Europe. He's quite clear he believes himself a refugee, not an economic migrant.
Between Gambia and Senegal, rebels used to come inside Gambia to take people, to attack big shops, take things. If they see that you're having good car, they catch you, they take your car, they go with it. You cannot do anything.
When Boubacar arrived, he was asked to fill out a form. Under the section, "Why are you in Italy?" the first option says, "To work." He said, well, yes, of course. His asylum claim was rejected. The point about this form is that it plays on the desire of new arrivals to say the right thing when they first come to Italy. And yet if an official says to you, do you want to work now that you're in the European Union, and you say yes, and he ticks the box, you've automatically undermined your own asylum claim. And that is happening to hundreds of people every month. Boubacar's lawyer says it's designed to make asylum seekers sign away their own claim.
They were asked if they want to work in Italy, and they said yes, sure. So they were classed as economic migrants, not asylum seekers. We have also met many unaccompanied children who have been considered as adults and rejected.
Those whose claims fail are not deported, but are stuck. On the roadsides, young men seek illegal work, picking oranges. The farmers pay them in packs of cigarettes.
I came here to get a better life, as to live better. So because my country, there's nothing there. So no help, no food, no suffering. So that is the reason I came up there to this place.
We asked the authorities what they had to say, but nobody was authorised to talk to us. Meanwhile, thousands like Boubacar are now marooned, not in the sea, but on land. So the question arises, with the Balkan route closing and Turkey being given all this money to keep people out, is this now going to be the new route? Are Syrians, for example, or Iraqis going to try to make the journey across the Middle East into Libya and join all those Africans trying to make the crossing here? That's a very worrying proposition for Italy. And I think it's a bigger concern too for the European Union, because remember, only last November the EU offered the African Union €1 billion to try and keep people out, and clearly at the moment that hasn't made any difference at all.